Good morning and welcome to the P&B Morning Show, Abuja. Today we wake up to a world that is moving faster than ever, full of promises, pressures, and possibilities. Every new day comes with its own headlines, its own worries, and its own hopes. But beyond the noise, there is a simple truth we sometimes forget. Progress does not happen by accident. It is built by deliberate choices, clear vision, and collective effort. Here at home, our story is one of resilience. Despite economic challenges, insecurity, and uncertainty, Nigerians continue to rise, to innovate, and to push forward. From farmers braving the elements to put food on our tables, to young entrepreneurs creating opportunities where none seems to exist, the spirit of determination remains alive. So this morning, is a reminder that conversations matter. The question we ask, the ideas we share, and the solutions we explore can shape the direction of our society. Whether it's governance, the economy, education, or opportunities for the next generation, informed dialogue is the first step towards meaningful change. So, as we prepare for the day ahead, heading to work or going to school, to the market, or simply planning your next move, remember that every contribution counts. Stay informed, stay hopeful, and stay engaged. This is more than just a morning show. It's a space for insight, for inspiration, and for the stories that connect us all. So sit back, stay with us, and let's begin the day together. My name is Omike Joseph Matthew, and I'm not here alone this morning. Of course, I'm here with my colleague, Chidi Kenneth.
Yeah, good morning, viewers. All right, you're welcome to the morning show here on P&B Television. OG,
Yeah.
how was your weekend?
Yeah, my weekend was splendid, and
Rice
yours?
stew. Well, I had some, as usual, the Sunday rice,
Okay.
but not accompanied with chicken.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Okay.
chicken these days, one can compete favorably with goat, what we call goat meat. So now we can't afford the goat, we can't afford the chicken, we just go for some little beef to support protein.
That's really great. And of course, the weekend came with a surprise. That's the rain, the first rain of the year.
Well,
in some part of Abuja experienced
that rain actually went to provoke the heat.
Of course. You expect that to happen, and we really thank God for that wonderful rain that fell in Abuja and its environs over the weekend. So Kenneth, we have so many issues to discuss this morning on the B&B television morning show right here. So what we have for you is, of course, the newspaper review will be coming up at the half-hour mark. And of course, we'll be talking about some matters arising.
So many issues.
OJ,
so many issues.
I tell you.
Talk about ranging from insecurity, politics, just name it.
Just name them. And of course, let's quickly look at the very first matters arising that we have today. And of course, it is the issue of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOP, announcing that the total and permanent cancellation of the Monday sit-at-home across the southeast, saying directive takes immediate effect from today, February 1926. Sit-at-home ended as far as the Nnamdi-led IPOP is concerned.
Talking about that sit-at-home, that's my region actually. And my father-in-law happens to stay somewhere around Onitsha, where the sit-at-home is really, really well practiced. And when I asked him, I said, what do you think? What do you make about this sit-at-home? He said, the business has really crippled.
Wow.
It has crippled business. It has changed the calendar. It has altered a lot of things. Now, people no longer go to school on Mondays as it were before, or as it was before. And people sit at home and then play football.
On Mondays?
On a Monday.
Which has economic effects.
Yes, because there's this saying that goes that one of the most scary day of a lazy man is on a Monday morning.
Of course.
A lazy man doesn't want to see Monday morning. And here you are, converting the lives of people, changing the narrative, changing the style of living. You no longer, the weekends now last 4 days as against 3 days I usually have, which is Friday, the TGIF, thank God it's Friday, Saturday, and the Sunday.
Sunday.
This time around, you now add Monday.
Monday.
And you don't have 4 days to.
So I think this is a very good,
Yes,
development.
Yes, it is.
Very good development. We actually need peace all over Nigeria. People should go about doing their business freely, and we really thank God that IPOP have risen.
Well, we appreciate them too for embracing that, touring towards this line.
Yeah, mind you, Nnamdi Kanu, who is currently incarcerated, actually made the pronouncement since 2024 that the issue of sit at home should end. As far as he's concerned, the sit at home should cease
I bet some overzealous people
still persist with it and all that, but this time around, I think it will come to stay.
Yeah, and I want to also commend the governor of Anambra State because he was one of the people that actually pressed for this abolishment. Charles Soludo, for this abolishment of sit at home on Monday. And I remember last week or 2 weeks ago, he had to shut down the
Onitsha
main market, and there was a lot of uprising and the rest of them. People were like reacting. But at the end of the day, we thank God we have arrived somewhere today.
Yes. So IPOP have declared ceasefire on the issue of seats at home.
I like that.
Monday sit at home.
I like that word, ceasefire.
It's ceasefire, of course. All right, and of course, another matters arising this morning is coming from one of the neighboring countries, in West Africa, talking about Ghana. Okay, Ghana. Now,
Ghana must stay.
Yes, this is why it is very, very interesting. The government of Ghana has recalled its High Commissioner to Nigeria, Mohammed Ahmed, following allegations linking him to electoral malpractice during a party primary election in Ghana. Not
in Nigeria.
Yes. Now, the recall was ordered by President John Mahama and announced in a presidential statement issued over the weekend, as on Saturday. Now, Mohammed Ahmed wanted to, in the last election, wanted to contest for a position.
Okay.
And he now gave inducement to the electorate, those who...
What we call vote buying.
Yes, that is what it is now called. Yes, that is how
we call it vote buying.
Vote buying. So as far as the government of Ghana is concerned, so evidence now came out that he did that during the last election. And
it's about some years ago now.
Yes, last year. Now the Ghanaian government have decided to recall him back to Ghana.
Now you see, what I make up of this is where internal democracy is working actually. You see, where we need to, and such things like this will build the confidence of the electorate. When you see government officials being punished for flaunting or for disobeying or maybe committing what we call electoral act and crimes, but I hope our own electoral system and our umpires will also learn to recall people who sometimes we don't know. I see a senator trying to buy buckets and spoons, and
giving out inducement.
You see, before, like now we are about to go, head to the polls. Very soon you start seeing all kinds of programs, all kinds of inducement, packaged inducement, packaged in form of all kinds of charity work.
Yes, the reason why this Ghanaian story really interests me is that for the government of the day to take this very, very serious, So it is not an issue where they have normalized it. It is not something. If it were in our own climb, in our own situation, we will say the election is over now.
If it is in Nigeria,
if it's in Nigeria, of course, we'll say the elections are over. Let's move on another. But the situation still remains, and the government of the day feels that look,
and after a year,
yes, and you understand now, the government of the year, the government of the day feels that look, they have to do something about what he has done before to set a precedence.
I don't think I've ever experienced since 1999 till date. I don't think
that any politician has
been, recalled for whatever reason.
In Nigeria.
And even when a politician will come on air and say, "Oh, So in as much as I am the leader, but my election was marred with some, malpractices. And that's enough statement for that, political leader to be recalled. But here we just, we have this paddy, what I call paddy politics, where we say, oh, let bygone be bygone, and let's move on.
All right. So the presidency of Ghana explained that the move was necessary to uphold the ethical standards expected of public officers to avoid any perception of impropriety. So we'll be going for a quick break now. When we return after the break, of course, it will be time for the newspaper review. Please do stay with us right here on P&B Morning Show. All right, welcome back to the P&B Morning Show right here on your number one TV station. And I am Omike Joseph Matthew, and Chidi Kenneth is still in the studio. Chidi Kenneth, it's about time to review the papers.
Of course, let's see what we have going around in our country, Nigeria. All
right, without wasting time, let's begin with, of course, the Vanguard newspaper. The Vanguard today has this headline: How 3 Southern senators blocked real-time results transmission, according to sources. How 3 Southern senators blocked real-time results transmission. Who are the senators? I know that you want to find out the senators who, of course, blocked the real-time results transmission. No, the controversy on the issue of the electoral acts is causing a lot of issues now, and the Senate will be having an emergency session come tomorrow, and to be part of one of the topics we'll be handling this morning. So 3 senators are behind.
Not just 3 senators,
but at least the Vanguard newspaper, 3,000 senators.
Now,
yes,
senators from one particular zone,
yes,
blocking the real-time transmission. Now, my worry about that situation is this: we are supposed to be improving the Electoral Act, but I don't know why we are retrogressing. Now, whether you like it or not, the electorates have lost some form of confidence after the last electoral process, 2023, right? And now, the Electoral Act that was created the last time, I think 2022 as well,
yes,
by late President Muhammad Buhari,
yes,
gave us some form of confidence with the electorate, the voters. But now, looking at the technical way this one is being handled, it's like neck and throat. What I call the neck and the throat approach. And somebody say no, it's neck. The other one say no, it's the throat. Well, someone is saying no, the electoral transmission was not totally abolished, but just real time. And I was asking, what's the difference between the real time and the transmission itself? These are technicalities that can be used, when we go for, most cases or most elections are being determined by our, by the electoral tribunals. And then the lawyers will come and make their interpretations, and before you know, one person will be declared the winner. So I think it's a good thing that the Senate is, reconvening tomorrow, because since 2 weeks now, or since it was being pronounced, the media houses have been on it, because we need to regain the confidence of the voters.
Yes.
OJ, it's very important.
It's very, very important. Okay, and it's still on the Vanguard. We have this very important, story coming from the economy. Manufacturers record 1.8 trillion naira on sold goods as demand slumps. And NNPCL's $1.5 billion refinery failure proves my privatization core right. That's, article saying that. And of course, Kanu orders cancellation of Monday's sit at home. So the Vanguard is also carrying this story.
The cancellation of sit at home.
Yes. So for more of these stories, go to the Vanguard. And of course, get more of these stories. And our next paper is The Guardian. The Guardian has this screaming headline. Yes, T-bills sees over 400% demand spike. That I was talking about the tax bill. Okay, see over 400% demand spike. We'll get that at page 6. T-bill sees over 400,000 demand spike as manufacturers face credit squeeze. There's the Vanguard carrying this story. So page 6 has this story And of course, we have other stories on the front page of the Guardian. Article: No economic sense in reviving failed refineries after $1.5 billion. Chidi,
Wow.
quickly, your reaction to this story?
Well,
From
I think my take on that issue
Mm.
in respect to the refineries, it's been long overdue.
Mm.
Monies have been pumped into the refineries, and we keep hearing promises. Oh, the refinery will start functioning by September. The refinery will start functioning by October, and up till now, we're yet to see, active, activities going on there in the refineries.
Yeah.
And I think I want to subscribe to or align myself with what Laji Atiku, the former vice president of Nigeria, is saying, that 1.5 what do you call it again?
$1.5 billion.
That's
have
enough.
been extended already.
That's enough to build a country. Some countries in Africa, I don't think they have that kind of money. $1.5 billion, and here we are pumping such money, OJ, year in, year out, and nothing is coming out from such refineries. And the article is coming out to say this whole thing is a waste. Why not sell it out? Why not privatize it? Let people buy them and then handle whatever it is that is going on there. Because we keep, this refinery issue has been on for like when? Since like 1999 or so, since the advent of of democracy.
Yes.
We've been hearing president coming in, going out right from Obasanjo down to the refinery is going to work, and it is not working. So it has been a campaign cliche for our political leaders, and I think it's high time for us to do something about it.
Yes, and Atiku Abubakar, the former vice president, is trying to justify his calls in the past that the NNPC should be sold out and should be privatized.
Some said he wants to send it to his friends. Some people said, "Oh,
that was the accusation." But he said, with the current reality, he has been vindicated.
We agree with the realities, OJ.
All right.
What the issue of selling it to the friends is what some people are not comfortable.
All right. So let's look at other stories on the Vanguard very quickly as we move on. Yes, IPOP Kanu cancel Monday sit-at-home order. Yes, the Guardian is also carrying this story.
I think we've touched
on that already today. And of course, other stories SAN rank under scrutiny as AGF, CGN warn against abuse of influence. So that's some of the stories coming from the Guardian. Of course, a very interesting one rather from the Guardian very quickly, please. Okay. It's Pope mourns victims of attacks in Nigeria, urges government to protect citizens. That's Pope Leo. Yes.
It's the killings in Nigeria is beginning to attract international interest and concerns, up to the extent that the Pope himself is beginning to look into the affairs of what's going on. The killings is becoming a regular occurrence in Nigeria, right from Kaduna. I don't know if we want us to even go deeper into that, because I was asking a question. Do you know what it takes to kidnap over 300 people?
At a go,
unnoticed. How did they carry them? What means of transportation was used? On a bike? Because the last time they recovered them, I think was it 3 or 4 days ago, and they were brought to the state government house in Kaduna. Yeah, that I saw about more than 10 coastal buses, 36 seaters. And I was asking, wow, the recovering took about over 36 coastal buses. Then how did they kidnap them?
They come in.
Did they use trailer? Did they use plane?
That's a big question that
in a state that has all security formation. We have the Nigerian Army, Air Force, we have everything, the Mopo 1, Mopo 2, whatever, just name the security apparatus in this country. Almost all of them have their formation in Kaduna.
In Kaduna State. It's really pathetic, I must say. All right, let's move to our next paper. That's the Daily Trust. The Daily Trust has interest on the electoral bill this morning. It said electoral bill. NLC threatens mass action. NLC, that's the Nigerian Labour Congress, threatens mass action. Okay, that's a threat.
Joe Ajaero still the chairperson.
Of course, it's Joe Ajaero led NLC.
Well, I don't want to say much about that, but let me just say this about the NLC. It's been a long time we've been hearing, the NLC will threaten mass, whatever. And 24 hours to the D-Day, where somehow, an announcement will be made. We have suspended the actions or strikes we want to make. And I keep wondering what's going on. Where are the days of Adam Soshomole? Even though now Adam Soshomole of today, we cannot really. I don't know if some people say he's no longer an activist. That is more or less allegedly a masood, or more or less of that. And Soshomole of today, some we don't really understand. But then the days of Adam Soshomole, when he was, give it to him, Oji, give it to Adam Soshomole, where there was serious labor action. But I want to challenge you, Ajero, to come out this time around and let him make his statement. If there's anything in the Labour Congress, these are people. This is a group who represents the interest of the masses.
All right, let's see what happens tomorrow after the snakes will reconvene. Let's see how they convene. What will happen after that? All right, so still on Daily Trust, very quickly. Other stories are there. Attacks on police facilities killed 45 officers in 1 year. That's really pathetic, and there's a graphics there. If you check out the Daily Trust this morning, it has a graphics of the places where these 45 officers lost their lives on duty. Talking about police facilities. Attacks on police facilities killed 45 officers.
45 policemen.
In 1 year.
In 1 year.
These are officers who...
That's total number of policemen that lost their lives.
Lost their lives
due to attack on
police facilities, like police stations.
What we call the police stations, police division.
Yeah, divisions and all that.
And all that.
Yes.
Well, that goes to show that there's more to be done in securing our policemen.
Yes.
Some of these policemen, sometimes I overheard a policeman saying that it's better for you to die than to lose your gun. I think, I don't know why that is being practiced. Anyway, I don't know the rationale behind that.
That is
and you see somebody trying to disarm a policeman, and the policeman would rather lay his life, pay the supreme price,
yes,
than to lose his gun.
Lose his rifle. So you never can tell, because what stories is he going to tell? Those are the top. Okay. All right. So quickly, still Daily Trust, before we move to our next paper. Of course, we have interesting headlines coming from Daily Trust this morning. Urumi killings, they do it to pay compensation 11 months after. Oh my God. And the Daily Trust also carries the story of the IPOP. IPOP ends seat at home in Southeast. Reptiles take over FCT health centers. I think this should be a story that we should do a special report about.
It's laughable.
It's laughable.
It's laughable.
Recently, we're talking about a young, an upcoming, musician here in the FCT who was bitten by a snake, and she passed on due to our health facilities here in the FCT doesn't have that.
In the modern time like this, someone is dying over snake bites. For crying out loud.
Yeah.
That is how far our security facilities has deteriorated, has gone down. As little as snake bite. Growing up as a young boy, then one of the villages where I had my secondary school days and encounter, I used to see the traditional men. When the child is being bitten by scorpion or snake bite, there's something they do. Sometimes they even put their mouth and suck the poison out. And here you are, someone was admitted in in what we call the Federal Medical Center. That's supposed to be a place where we can reckon with health-wise. And as small as snake bites, she lost her life.
Anyway, the Federal Medical Center here in Abuja have come out with a statement, giving their own account of what actually transpired and all that. But all the same,
but now we are hearing that reptiles. We don't know whether it's
taking over health
facilities, lizards, and
of course,
what happens to fumigation?
Don't worry. So at the FCT minister is there talking about Wiki.
Mr. Project,
who should do something about our health facilities here in the FCT. So let's move on to our next paper this morning, as our time is moving really fast. And the next one is the Nigerian Tribune. Electoral Act, Senate hold emergency sitting. NLC threatens mass action. We've looked at that earlier. Pabio conference committee members, others come under pressure. He won't take anything less than a real-time transmission. Barabe. We won't take any. Human rights lawyers, SDP, others condemn Senate well, a lot of bashing on the Nigerian
I
Senate.
like Senator
The Akpabio-led Senate is really under bashing.
Well,
in the past 1
it has
week.
to be, OJ, because the last time I watched the plenary by the Senate, and I saw the way Akpabio was trying to, explain, the difference between the real time and the transmission, whatever it is. And you could, from me, I was looking at his face, looking at his, his expression, and I don't think the confidence in it. Look at something that allegedly was,
something sinister is happening.
Yes,
behind the scenes.
Like what I call the neck and the throat. You're telling somebody no, it's the neck, and I ask where, and one is saying no, it's truth, and I ask myself, where is the truth? It's inside the neck.
All right, so move on to our next paper. Let's move on to our next paper from the Tribune. We have the Punch very quickly. The Punch, I think, has advertorial, a very juicy advertorial. Their front page this morning, but of course,
the way you are calling this juicy, OJ,
it's juicy. You can look at the front.
Yeah, I've seen it. You have some interest in that.
The Corporate Affairs Commission, is that not really juicy, advertorial there? Okay. All right, but all the same, this screaming headline: Electoral Act standoff. Senate calls emergency plenary as protest looms. So this electoral bill, the Electoral Act issue
is just warming up anyway.
It's an issue that has refused to go away.
And I need to appreciate. We need to also appreciate Senator Baribe.
Yes,
at least for standing up to say no. We need to look into this thing because trust me, the Nigerians are watching. We're just it's gathering momentum. I don't think any political party has actually come out to say anything strong about it. But I hope very soon it will be, because for me it's a soft kind of political threat. Because we're supposed to be improving on, like I said, we're supposed to be improving on this thing.
All right. We'll be talking more about this electoral act this morning. We're having a guest who will be, dissecting the issues concerning this electoral act controversy that has befell us as a people.
Well, yet to befell.
Yeah.
Okay,
they are reconvening tomorrow. So all the same. So let's look at our last paper this morning very quickly before we go for a quick break, and that's the Daily Sun. Insecurity, tension in Kogi, Niger State. Markets, motor park shut across 7 local governments in Kogi. And we are under siege. Niger communities cry out. Yeah, it's the screening, headline coming from the Daily Sun this morning. And also, no more Monday sit at home. Kanu orders IPOP. That's the story of the sit at home seizure ordered by the Nnamdi Kanu-led IPOP, beginning from today. The Daily Sun is also carrying that story. And cost of medicine soar. The 5 federal government's cost-cutting framework. It's another important story coming from the front page of the Daily Sun. And Pope asks Tinubu to protect Nigerians. That's a call there from Pope Leo. Yesterday at the Vatican concerning some of the killings across the country. So, Chidi,
yes,
a quick reaction to some of.
Well, I want to say something about the Kogi being threatened, and you look at Kogi State, Kwara, and Niger State
closing some markets, motor parks, and all that to flush out terrorists.
Yes, because if you look at the last attack that happened at Woro community in Kwara State, it's close. It's by the southern part of the Kanji, reserved national park. And also shares a boundary with Kogi State as well. So there's the panic is expected. It's expected, and that is why people need to run for their lives, because you are looking at a place that has about 5,341 square kilometer forest reserved, so big, sharing boundaries with Kogi, Kwara, and Niger.
Yes,
and this Kanji reserve is known for notorious activities from bandits over the years now. And I sometimes I wonder what happens to our drone cameras.
Well, we'll look at that. Thank you very much, Chidi. We just have to go for a quick break now. When we return, of course, we'll be joined by a former legislator virtually, who of course will be dissecting the issue of insecurity in Nigeria. Please do stay tuned. This is P&B Morning Show, reaching live from the nation's capital, Abuja. All right, you're welcome back to the P&B Morning Show, reaching live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I'm Omike Joseph Matthew, and of course, my co-host, Chidi Kenneth, is also in the building. Okay, so Chidi, we're about to start our very first topic of the day, and we're looking at the issue of emergency Senate session that we've talked about earlier today. That's
the reconvening of the
reconvening of the Senate to tomorrow
to look into the Electoral Act.
So, is it responding to public pressure or political necessity? So that's what we'll be looking at today, and we'll be having a guest joining us virtually this morning to dissect this very important topic. Now, the Senate is set to reconvene on Tuesday for an emergency plenary session following growing public pressure over the exclusion of compulsory electronic transmission of election results in the recently amended Electoral Act. Now, lawmakers had last Wednesday suspended plenary activities for 2 weeks after passing the Electoral Act Amendment Bill, a move intended to allow senators engage with heads of ministries, departments, and agencies during the defense of their 2026 budget estimate. A memo notifying senators of the emergency sitting, dated February 8th, was circulated and signed by the clerk of the Senate, Emmanuel Odo. According to the memo, the directive was issued on instruction of the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, who also appealed to lawmakers to attend this session and express regrets over any inconvenience the sudden recall might cause. While the notice did not specify the agenda for the emergency plenary, indications suggest it is linked to widespread public criticism of the Electoral Act amendment passed before the Senate recess. Although the legislation introduced several changes, public debate has centered on the contentious provision that declined to make electronic transmission of results from polling units to the Independent National Electoral Commission's result viewing portal mandatory. Of course, the decision has drawn sharp reactions, with many political parties, civil society groups, and political actors calling on the National Assembly to review and reverse the clause. So this morning I've been joined by a former legislator and political activist. He is, of course, Comrade Daniel Edoache Ati. Is joining us virtually this morning. Good morning to you, Comrade Daniel. Comrade Daniel, can you hear me? Oh, please, can you unmute? Comrade Daniel? Can you unmute?
Yes.
Okay.
Good morning. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us.
Morning. Thanks for having me.
All right. Of course, my colleague Chidi Kenneth is also saying good morning to you this morning.
All right. Good morning, Daniel. Welcome to the morning show.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's nice having you this morning on the P&B television. And of course, we're looking at this very important topic, emergency Senate session. Is it responding to public pressure or political necessity? So what do you have to say to us, Comrade Daniel? As a former legislator, what has been your take on the recent controversy surrounding the Electoral Act since last week? Very quickly.
Anyway, my take has been that Nigeria, having more than 300 million populace, and apart from that, being the largest Black African nation, and to add to it, being member of the United Nations organization, where we have a General Assembly, the UN General Assembly, where member nations are democratic nations. We have been overdue to have digital voting system. And when I am talking about digital voting system, I mean absolute digital voting system, where the electorate and not the ruling class, the electorate, the citizens, determines who leads them in government. And when I mean government, I mean the federal government, the state government, and the local government, and also the arms of government, the executive arm, the legislative arm, and the judicial arm. Now, what you have in the Nigerian system is absurdity. It is not democratic. It is not even right of citizens to elect who lead them in this country, either as governor, either as local government chairman, or as president, or even as legislators. Sadly, what electoral act that we are talking about, transmission of result in real time. Legislature.
Yeah, Comrade Dan, it appears we've lost the sound from your end. Can you please check your sound, please? Oh,
We can hear you. Not
you're sounding very faint this time around, not as loud as before. Okay, yeah, loud and clear now. Yeah, of course. Go ahead, please. Go ahead with your thoughts. Yeah, go ahead.
And you can see the network disparity because of interference, and it's part of some oversight functions of the legislators. But let me not go there.
And that brings the next question very quickly to you before I allow my co-host to ask you a question. This issue of network that you just mentioned, don't you think that this is even one of the reasons why the Senate earlier thought that, look, we don't have the infrastructure in the first place. Why should we approve that?
Don't go there. Don't go there at all. Let me tell you why. You see, in 2019 and in 2020, I made a comparative analysis about our IT providers, what they are doing to us in Nigeria, the African most populous nation, and all those about the third or fourth economy in Africa at the time, that the Nigerian Communication Commission has compromised the standard by which they were the responsibilities that they have to carry out. Now, the NCC know that our Sat1 is supposed to give us absolute frequency for our modulations or whatever we are doing.
Now you are saying that they are supposed to, but at the moment, the technology. Yes.
Listen to me. Don't cut me off so that I can try explicitly for you to understand.
Okay, please do that quickly.
They are by law and by budget. The budget allocation to them is a maximum budget that we can even flow on the geometry of 5G. even 4G or 3G or even 2G can drive any network from any local location.
Okay.
Even if it is the deepest, the remotest village, you have your mast. Your mast is your local area network. You know, I'm a systems engineer.
Yeah.
I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
The local area network will have what we call routers. The routers are machines, they're gadgets that interconnect a local area network with a wide area network, which is one.
So what you are saying in essence, Comrade Daniel, is that the issue of technological infrastructure is not even an issue where Nigerians that the Senate should be worried about.
It's not an issue. The issue is the issue of corruption and deliberate mischief. Deliberate mischief that is against patriotism. Patriotism in the sense that they don't want us to have digital voting system where the electorate, whom are the larger Nigerian citizens, should decide who to lead them. If you look at our leaders, you see how partisan they are. They are affiliated. In fact, they take their political parties to be so supreme to the extent that the president can spend whooping billions of money, of naira, to induce governors and senators into his party, the APC, forgetting that the larger electorate and the larger Nigerian citizens are not even members of any political parties, but these are citizens that want government genuine policies of emancipation policies, of freedom policies, of egalitarianism policies, of governance to reach them.
All
They
right.
are not members in the political parties.
All right, Comment Daniel.
Because they also
Can you hear me, Comment Daniel? Can you hear me, sir?
hold up. They also know that Nigerians, if Nigerians do not get the blueprint of their manifestos and their mandate, they promised us from 2015 to now, a difference or a contract that is supposed to be vivid from the past administration of PDP. And if Nigerians do not get this thing in their livelihood, it means 2027 is not going to be easy for them to return to their various political responsibilities.
All right, Comrade Dan.
Comrade Daniel, can I just ask? Can we just let me just ask one or two questions? Okay, I want to thank you very much once again for your thoughts on this matter, and I think I want to align with you in some areas, and also a little bit disagree with you in some areas as well. For example, you did mention that Nigerians don't have a political party. We have a common political party, the masses, which is hunger. Hunger is the meeting point of an average citizen. That's our political party here in Nigeria. Promises keep coming, keep rolling like drums, and at the end of the day, the politicians don't meet up to this promise. Now, I also want to agree with you on the aspect of that digital invention is not an excuse. And I want to say this. Back in the days, when we had NEPA, the NEPA bill gets to every community. How did they achieve that?
Yes.
The NEPA bill gets to every community.
And that brings the question.
Then we don't have technology then.
Yeah.
No matter how remote that community is, the bill, you must get NEPA bill. Now we have meters. We have SIM cards. We have over close to 200 million, active SIM cards. Why can't we, align ourselves with such technological advancement vis-a-vis with INEC, and then people can vote, and in less than 6 hours we are done with voting?
All right, that's a big question. So, Comrade Daniel, let me quickly ask you this now. So, how much influence should public opinion have on legislative decisions of this magnitude? Because it appears that the Senate are succumbing to public pressure now.
Or not just public pressure. There's something you said again. Okay.
Let me tell you, OJ and Chidi in the studio. If the federal government, and namely the National Assembly, both arms of the National Assembly, the Senate and the House of Congress, if they do not take time to agree with the electorate and the Nigerian citizens now to have a digital transmission in real time of our electoral results, having judged from all perspectives that it is very easy and it is doable. It is doable. Even with 2G, you can transmit results. Even with 5 megabytes per second, you can transmit results. And if they choose not to do it and they hinge their excuses on the fact that technical glitches of no network availability, when we know that it is possible for MTN, Globalcom, Etisalat, Airtel to be in every villages, and that as a private institutions or private organizations, the government could even do better. The government, if they want to contract them to ensure they use their WAN or their LAN, their local area network or their wide area network, they can plan max, because if I have just 40 billion, not 400 billion, if I have 40 billion, I can network all the nook and crannies of Nigerian villages to Nigerian Sat1 or to INET water. So that should never be an excuse. But we are seeing it as a deliberate mischief that if they don't take time in 2027, they are going to see the forces of the masses against the forces of the elite.
All right.
And I tell you, you can't take people for a ride all the time. The people want to emancipate themselves from this mental slavery, from this quagmire of retrogression. A country that continues to retrogress. Can you imagine that Nigeria have a CBN, the Central Bank of Nigeria, attached with commercial banks of Nigeria? And these commercial banks, they are in all our local areas, and they have networks. You have your BDN, I have my BDN, I have my ATM. These are digital materials. And how can you give us a voter's card as a digital material and you want to collect my result via analog? That is a mischief, and a deliberate mischief. And it will be unacceptable come 2027. They should be ready to see the real revolution. And when I mean revolution this time, I mean the revolution of the masses that will not continue to compromise standard, to compromise governance, to compromise their human rights. Nigeria government of Tinubu and whatever Akpabio should get ready for us.
Okay, now, Comrade Dan. Okay, that's really nice there. So what do you expect tomorrow when the Senate will be reconvening, as a result of, perhaps, as a result of this controversy? Because they've not really told us why they are reconvening tomorrow. They've not made it official that it's because of that, but from all indication, it's because of this controversy we are discussing.
That's why it's called emergency.
Okay, so what do you expect from them tomorrow? What do you expect from them tomorrow?
I expect them to be patriotic senators, to be distinguished senators, to be senators of egalitarianism, to be senators that want the country to be on the path of progression, development, to meet the best words, to be senators that will give us digital voting system and real-time termination of results. How can you be in a vehicle where the driver is blind? You definitely know that we are headed for what? Accident. Nigeria can be destroyed by the same senators, and the same senators can make Nigeria on the path of progression to El Dorado. That is what I expect from them, and nothing more. If they do anything other than what Nigerians want, I tell you, what we are seeing today as if security is a mere one. What is going to happen is going to be the force of the people versus the force of the of the stupid airline. Let me use that word.
No. You have to take down. You have to take back that word.
In as much as we respect your thoughts, and
yes,
we also want you to be
to show some decorum, please.
Decorum to your language.
All right. So. No. There are some words that are very, very, harsh or very strong to be used on. So, quickly, please, Chidi, as try to wrap.
I want to also say something.
Yes.
You are trying to abolish real-time transmission, technically, but you can transfer money in real time. That's what you can transfer money to your girlfriends. You can transfer money to your cronies in real time.
Okay, so
but you cannot transfer. But when it comes to the electoral process, real time becomes an issue.
Okay, so
that has to tell you that's the question. What we call in our local palace that a monkey hand there, it on the soup.
Okay, so Chidi and Comrade Dead, as we try to wrap up, please. As we try to wrap up. So, what is now the difference using this last analogy you guys have just used now? What is now the difference between transfer and transmission? Quickly. What's the difference?
Well, it's like the neck and the throat. They said neck, you said throat. What is the difference between throat and neck, Eugene?
Now, transfer and transmission.
Yes.
Transfer is that you are at leisure, but you are sending something and it's going in real time. Now, transmission is that somebody is waiting for you, is expected to receive your connectivity. You get me?
Yes.
Why transfer can be said the person is not waiting but is terminating on real time. Transmission is that if somebody is there, is already waiting to receive your communication, and so as you are doing it, is transmitting in real time. Transfer is in real time, but the person can use it at wherever
when it is convenient.
Convenient.
The result at that moment. At that moment, and I said the two are pari passu. They are all using either the local area network or the wide area network. And in conjunctivity, the realtors. These things are very simple. These things.
I think we've lost that communication there.
Well, for me, transmission is
like as we're talking now.
Yes,
okay, now I think you are hearing me.
Of course.
This is transmission. You get me?
Yes.
And then by the time we are through, the link that you are sending to me to watch what I have done, this is what that one will be called transfer. People can watch it even later. You get me? They can watch it even later, and even tomorrow, even the next year, they can watch it. But people can also edit that one. They can edit that one and then change the way I talk or the way I look. They can even use AI to manipulate my voice, to manipulate my picture, to do whatever. That is transfer. So, because I did not do it in real time, but this one that I'm doing in real time with you now, nobody can manipulate it, OJ.
It's organic. It's organic.
And that is what the Nigerian people want.
Yes.
All right. We must, thank you very, very much, Comrade Daniel Edoache Atei. Of course, he's a former legislator.
My name is Atai.
Atai, I beg your pardon. Yes, Comrade Daniel Edoache Atai. Thank you very much for joining us this morning on the P&B Morning Show, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. Thank you for joining us.
God bless you. Thank you for having me.
All right, and that has been, of course, Comrade Daniel dissecting.
I think I like that. I like him. I like him because, OJ, let's say it the way it is. Because the poverty in the land today doesn't understand what transmission and the transfer means. Well, when you go to the market to buy things, and the market woman doesn't understand what transmission and transfer means. What he or she understands is that today fuel is 950, Tomorrow fuel is 850, and it translates into transportation and cost of moving goods, farm produce from the farmland to to the markets. That's what she understands, and this act of transmission and transfer can determine the cost of goods and services even in our marketplaces. Because like he said, like the comrade Daniel said, when you're talking about transfer is not time bound. The transmission is time bound. Do you understand? So you there's a particular time you need to, because we can't do these things. If you can sell recharge cards, or what we call SIM cards, to over close to 200 million people, if the NEPA AEDC or whatever bill can get to every home, sorry, we can also do these things. Like you said, it's just a political will. The political will of our leaders to, what are you hiding? What are you scared of? If you are sellable, come out. Let people vote you. Let people decide who leads them. Let the electorate do that. Let the voters do that. You don't just, try to, technically, what I call technical rigging. Because even though you don't want to come out, because this is a country that has over 100 million intelligent minds, and we understand what you're trying to do. And like I said, when I saw the face of the Senate president, Senator Babio, when he was making his speech on respect to transmission and transfer in real time, he was not looking at the screen. He was not looking straight. I look at his eyeballs. I was watching him.
So are you now a body language expert?
Body, they said, they said action speaks louder than voice. And one of the parts of the human body that cannot deceive itself is the black eyeball. When you are talking, you watch the black eyeball of that person. When you are truthful to yourself, the eyeball can remain stable. But when you are lying or you're trying to play pranks, you see sometimes you can't even have the confidence to look at the person you're talking to.
All right. Thank you very much, Chidi Kenneth there. Of course, we're going for a very quick break now. When we return, we'll be joined by a security expert, as our next discussion will center on the issue of insecurity in Nigeria. We'll be right back in a jiffy. All right, welcome back to the P&B Morning Show, reaching live from the nation's capital, Abuja, Nigeria. Miki Joseph Matthew, and of course, Chidi Kenneth is also still in the studio, my co-host this morning.
Yeah,
I hope you're really enjoying yourself.
Well, Lord, of course, I am enjoying myself. I'm enjoying myself here on the P&B Morning Show, live here in Abuja. So
all right.
It's a nice place to be.
Thank you very much. So our next topic is the issue of insecurity, and the question we're asking this morning is, current security strategies working in Nigeria? Current security strategies working in Nigeria. In recent weeks, the nation has once again been confronted with troubling reminder of the fragile state of security across Nigeria. The reported killings in parts of Kwara State have not only shocked residents and claimed innocent lives, but have also reignited a broader national conversation about the worsening insecurity spreading across the country. From the north to the south, communities continue to grapple with violent attacks, banditry, kidnappings, and communal clashes, leaving families traumatized and livelihoods disrupted. What was once considered isolated incidents has gradually become a recurring pattern, raising urgent questions about the effectiveness of existing security strategies and the safety of ordinary Nigerians. The situation in Kwara State reflects a wider national challenge, one that demands more than condolences and reactions. Because for decisive action, to strengthen security architecture and renewed commitment from all levels of government to protect lives, restore confidence, and ensure that peace becomes the norm rather than the exception. So this morning, I've been joined live virtually again by another comrade, talking about Comrade Salisu Ntata Mahmood. He is an Abuja-based security analyst, a man who knows everything concerning issues of security in the land. A warm welcome to P&B Morning Show, Comrade Salisu.
Good morning, OJ, and your other uncle.
Okay, thank you very much.
Welcome,
we appreciate you joining us this morning. Let's begin with Yes, let's begin with the question, comrade. Are the current security strategies working in the country, considering the recent, issues that has happened in Nigeria, the wanton killing of lives and so on and so forth? A case study of Kwara State.
Well, while appreciating the combined effort of the security agencies, that is from the armed forces, police, and others, I want to say without iota of any apology that the intelligence network isn't working. The non-availability of permanent structures of security in remotest parts of this country is also making it to be difficult. And also, don't forget they are faced with manpower challenges because I know they cannot be everywhere. And when you compare them to what the population of the country has grown to be, the manpower is so low. The strength of civilians we have in Nigeria, and just the way they are battling that of northeast, northwest, then in north central it has come up, then even in part of the point, you saw what happened. So above all, it is when they resort to use of modern intelligence gathering gadgets, use of drones, and most of all.
It appears we've lost connectivity with Comrade Tatadia. We hope to get him back as soon as possible. Yes, Chidi, you heard his. Okay, I think it's back. It's back. Let's go back to him, please. Okay, at some point we lost our connection from your end there, but thank you very much for rejoining us. And what factors do you think is driving these recent killings across the country, not just in Kwara State? What could be the driving force?
Well, when you talk about the driving force, it's not even the issue. We should talk about what ignited this kind of non-state actors' actions. We know that of Northeast, it was religious ideology where they say education is a crime. Then that of northwestern states of Zamfara, others they are majorly illegal gold mines, which has heads of many unscrupulous elements in the society from political, security, and other circles. Then above all, that of the North Central also is illegal gold mine because like Waro, where you had this massacre that people were killed off 300, there is an illegal mining site in that Waro. Even though they are trying to say it's because they came to preach some Islamic gospels, and beyond that, there is also illegal gold mine because after even they killed about 300, we got intelligence report that 50 of the non-state actors were in that illegal mine site, which with our ownership involvement role, we dispatched the information to certain officers in Abuja of the TSS. I don't know whether they were able to send some people, even though right now Mr. President has asked for the sighting of a full battalion in Kayama. Then the police area commander sent more than 100. Then TSS have covered operation also. But above all, when you cannot fight insecurity without food security, once there is literacy and poverty, this is what you find. And when you see in the northern part of this country, there is high level of poverty and illiteracy where somebody can even be given 50,000 to go and detonate bomb. You saw that one that happened in Damboa. The boy that went to the mosque there was given 100,000. So if you don't fight illiteracy, you don't fight poverty, this is what you get. So, and these things is not happening in Southwest, it's not happening, the one that is happening in the Southeast is because of activities of unknown government who are trying to say because they incarcerated and they can play that of the North, illiteracy and poverty contributed that made the bandits to form their banditry for illegal gold mines. Even though some of them in the were contracted to that illegal mining sites. So we must fight illiteracy and poverty in the North so that the youths that joined Boko Haram, ISWAP, and banditry groups of Beto, Georgie, don't go to there. Also, we look to what they are gainfully employed. They finish secondary school, they know they can go to polytechnic or college education and university. And after that, employment or empowerment. Our politicians should also fear God because we are wasting in people. We are wasting generations. Look at the numbers of animators on the street. Look at the number of youths that are involved in drug addiction and a lot of other things that are not okay. So these things we have to fight poverty, illiteracy, then ensure food security too. So as it is happening in Northeast, Northwest, well as North Central now. So where else? It almost goes into Southwest when they went to abandon the old national park. until combined effort security agencies flush them out. Because the proximity between Kwara and Oyo State is not that much. So the issues are a lot of things needed to be done. Beyond just saying combat operations, where eliminated, we should find certain things that also bring this things into being.
Yes, that is a very good point there. Trying to fight, poverty, and of course improve the education of the people will, curtail this issue of insecurity to a large extent. But looking at the deployment of security personnel across crisis zone, each time this kind of situation happens, before you know, either the president or the state government will say that they have deployed security forces to such communities. Now, from the past, and as someone who is, of course, in that sector, do you think that has, this measure has actually mitigated, the issue of killings in some of these affected communities, up to this date?
Come again?
As in deployment of security forces to affected areas. Okay, as this measure actually curtail, maiming of innocent citizens, because each time these killings happens, the next thing you hear that, okay, government has deployed security forces to such communities, or have asked for a division to be created, and so on. Has that really solved the issue? Because it's not the first time. Like you just said, the president has ordered for a army division to be created in Kema. Do you think this will actually solve the problem?
Yes, you see, operational squads always reduce it. But sometimes the siting of permanent structures normally solve it to 90%. If you can recall when that of Boko Haram happened in Northeast, they set up 7 division, theater command, joint task forces there. That made it to go away fully from metropolis of Maiduguri, even though recently it happened in some skeletal areas. So once you have sighting of permanent structure, they normally get afraid. Like that war, we are there to be maybe the police formation or military, whatever, with about 10 or 15 guns, they can confront them and even waste them too. Then of a robbery, look at the time it happened after setting up for squadron, it has reduced part of it. So once there are permanent structure set up, that of the police, army, air force, or even what have you, with sophistication, it even scares them where they know they exist, they don't go there, particularly in the north. Most of these places see they are carrying out onslaughts in northern states. They are majorly ungoverned areas. So setting up a battalion will go a long way. If possible, they should also attach it with proposed squadron, because why that Kayama area is sensitive is that it is a link to certain border areas, and it is a link to about 3 things. When you get to Kayama, you go through Kosibosu. From Kosibosu, you go to Chikanda, you are going to Benin Republic. If you go towards the other angle, you are going to Oyo State. If you go into the other angle, you are going to Niger. From Niger, you can go to Kebbi, Sokoto, and others. So that is the sensitivity of Kayama as a local government. And majorly, there are agricultural produce like yam, that they make yam flour that they call alubo. People come from Lagos, Ibadan to buy, including cotton and soya beans. So you see, because of the agricultural potentiality of those areas, that is Barute local government, Kayama local government, then the neighboring local government, which is Borgu local government, Kainchi, you have sensitive place there, which is the dam, and you also have other. So the issues are, once they are cited there. Let me give you an example of Kainchi. The presence of 101, 221, and Air Weapons School averted this kind of menace when bandits wrote to them that they were coming. The commanding officer 101 battalion, then those 221 and the Air Weapons School commandant, they put heads together. They prepared for them. In fact, they even blocked the road from Kainchi to Wawa and made pushback for other people. It helped at the time they were invading. The military and Air Force wasted them. Are you getting me? So that is the momentum it can gather once you have permanent site. We are there to be permanent security structure. Then again, beyond just that, like some of the major problems are also military is bad roads. For example, example, from Wawa to Ghana is supposed to be 67 kilometers, but you have to travel 5 to 6 hours because of potholes. The rehabilitated nature of the road, so we see stream and nature and other things. So no matter what you do, without also the federal government, Minister of Works, Umai, will go and rehabilitate that Kahama to Wawa Road, the Kahama to Kosovo, it is very, very devastating because even when you start the battalion, if the military officers are to respond, reinforce, before they get there, the non-state actors might have wasted a lot of people. So bad roads are also problem. Even if this killings in Wawa, war it contributed. Because as at the time it was happening, because we are late, already the people of the Netherlands and politics and other higher echelons, they gave order for a particular 244 battalion and couldn't take the TSS to go. What about something you cannot fly, especially if you are using chopper? Are you with me?
Yes.
So beyond those the permanent battalion and what have you, the federal Ministry of Works should be directed to also rehabilitate Wawa Kayama Road, then Kayama Moscow and those roads around there.
Okay,
then
so
the Niger parts too. Roads from Wawa, Agwara, but nothing to run about up to Kebbi State. Are you with me?
yes, so Kenneth.
So infrastructure is also a problem.
Infrastructure.
Only in that area across the country, even in Zamfara, even in Katsina, it's only state capitals with some few local governments. So if you don't fix infrastructures too, these non-state actors will continue to act through them because they also have their own strategies. So you search permanent security structures, rehabilitate roads, then give them drones. What happened to some of the drones we procured? What happened to some of the Alpha jets? Tucano is lying there in Kanji. What are they using it for? Tucano has the capability to last 4 hours.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Kenneth. You can see that Comrade has brought up the issue of synergy between the Ministry of Works, you understand, and of course the security sector. That for one to work, this one also needs to help. Like for instance, he mentioned the issue of the Ministry of Works need to rehabilitate the roads in these areas so that
easy access of security forces.
Yes, security forces to really operate
there in good time.
In good time and so on and so forth. And that brings the next question.
But before you go there, OJ,
yes.
I was just itching to say something regarding this insecurity. I'm happy that the comrade mentioned how poverty has been weaponized in the north and how illiteracy also has been weaponized in the north. And it's time for the elites in the north to come together and see how they can address this growing issue, because very soon people will no longer sleep with their 2 eyes closed. Like I said before, the Woro attack, I said that place has a very wide landmass, forest reserve, about 5,341 square kilometers, and it's located at the southern part of the Kanji Dam. Now, you ask the question, why is it that each time things like this happen, the government seems to, say, okay, let's build a division. So we don't have the exact figures, but I learned yesterday the Woro community started burying their dead. Why must we have to wait? And again, the issue of roads by the Minister of Works and housing or whatever you call it, is not just roads. These are things that has to do with the bad economic policies on that development. You don't need crisis to stir you up or to prompt you into doing what you know that needs to be done.
So in essence, the government of the day is being reactive than proactive.
Exactly, being reactive than proactive. This is a place that is known for all sorts of terrorist activities. The landmass is so wild. Like he said, the drone. We have the lesser drone cameras now. We have that can shoot, identify the suspect, and shoot. And why can't we buy them? We have the money. We have all what it takes. Why are we not buying? Technology too is also an added advantage. We have the money to buy these things. Some countries are already talking about protecting, ballistic missiles from getting into their country, having all kinds of what they call it, like Israel. Here we're still struggling to get drones that can identify hoodlums, identify and take them out. And it's appalling because we know human lives no longer matter this time around. I don't know what's going on. We keep every day you tune on to the television, and this is one of the psychological reasons why people want to travel out of the country, because each time you look at the newspapers, you look at the television, you keep hearing
killings and all that.
It has a way of affecting your mind.
Much, Kenneth there, and we hope to have our comrade joining us again. We lost our comrade a few moments ago due to some technical glitches from us right here. So, comrade, are you still there? Comrade, can you hear me? Okay, okay, we're trying to reconnect him. Back. Once we get him back, we'll surely let you know. You're still watching the P&B morning show, reaching live from the nation's capital, and of course we're looking at the issue of security strategies. The issue of security strategies in Nigeria. So our current security strategies are working in the country is what we are looking at this morning. Joining us is Comrade Salisu Ntata Mahmood, a security analyst. Is he back quickly so that, all right. Comrade, you're back? Okay, all right. Okay, apologies for that break there. So before we let you go, because we know you have a tight schedule this morning. Okay, so beyond military and police, action, what long-term solutions can address the root causes of insecurity? You've mentioned some already, but beyond the issue of poverty and the issue of education. So what other things do you think that can address the issue of insecurity in the country?
Employment creation and empowerment.
Okay. Yes, go ahead, please, if you can. You are still there?
Let build this youth. When you build this youth and give them job, they become independent, their sense of belonging become more reasonable. But the moment children graduate from school, you don't give them jobs, then they see you building houses and you do this and you put that, it creates problem. And that is why you have issues of insecurity, you have issues of going into crime and criminalities, all these Yahoo plus and also other things. In fact, there are two types of terrorism: economic terrorism and casualty terrorism. The casualty terrorism is this one, the ones that killing people. While the economic terrorism is this one, this Yahoo boys go and start tampering with people's money and also other things.
Yes.
So government must create social security, employment, and develop human trends, human capacity building. Latif Jankade in Lagos created free education. States can create free education. When you finish, you also create employment. So these are some of the remedy to this.
All right. Want to thank you, Comrade Salisu Mahmood Ntata, security analyst, for joining us on the morning show this Monday morning. Thank you very much, sir. All right, I really appreciate you. So, Kenneth.
Yes.
You heard a comrade there, and of course, the solution he has proffered.
Yes, it's quite commendable, and we can do more. Like I said, all it requires is just the political will. We know these things, we know the problems, we know we have the solution. We have other countries that has also, dealt with their own decisively. We can also copy their own model and import it here and use it as well. We have the money to do this, but we need those who have the political will to also achieve those things. This is not rocket science, OG. It's not rocket science. Insecurity is, like I said, countries like Israel and some other countries, they've gone beyond, building the divisions. The annoying part here is that sometimes after killing people, you see some of our political leaders going there to pay condolence visit. After paying condolence visit, nothing is being done. And these are, and condolence visit does not bring back life. People keep dying. No action is taken before time. And these things have history. Like I said, that area, the Woro area, has history for notorious activities. It also has history of, hosting or having some, mineral resources that is attracting some illegal mining there. The fact that we have this knowledge is already 50% solved. You understand? When you know what is wrong with you, you've solved it 50%. Then the next thing to do is to find out the means and ways you can approach and solve them. Every problem in the world, OJ, has a solution.
Yeah.
It's either we're not thinking right or we're not thinking proactively. We're just reacting, because it's not rocket science. Like one of the late former president Abacha said, any terrorist act that has lasted over 48 hours or so, that there's some, strong hands in it. I wouldn't want to say some things, strong hands in it. Why is this thing becoming like a business kind of? Because it's the same pattern. Like I asked, how can somebody 300 and something people be kidnapped? OJ, put on your thinking cap. How did you carry them? What means of transportation did you use?
Motorbike.
Unnoticed for hours. And you move these people to a place, nothing is seen them, no satellite, no drone, no nothing.
That is a big question.
And the next thing, you bring them back and say they've been recovered. And when they are being recovered, you see like over 30 buses carrying them. And I asked, is it the same 30 buses that convey them? Shootings going on. Do you know the sound of RPG? The sound of the GPMG? And these bandits, they have these guns. When you are shooting them, you can hear the sound from 10 kilometers. Are you telling me there are no military formation, no security formation 10 meters close to those areas? You cannot be mining illegally without being guided, because mining is not cheap. That's another thing there are questions we need to ask these people.
Thank you very, very much, Chidi Kenneth, talking about illegal mining in the country. I think that will be another, topic that we will try.
They are heavily guided.
Yes, we'll try and, address again on this program in the coming days. Illegal mining in Nigeria. Like the last week or so, I actually came from one of the states in the north, and the state government has put an embargo on illegal mining and night mining, and we've had instances of where illegal miners were attacked in the night by their bandits or gunmen and so on and so forth. So it will surely be a topic that we'll be addressing in the coming days. So as we try to wrap up the program this morning, let's quickly tell you that on this day, that's on the 9th day of February in the year 2010, the National Assembly passed a resolution making Dr. Goodluck Jonathan the acting president. Do you still recall that?
What they call the doctrine of necessity.
The controversial doctrine of necessity was invoked. All right, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're watching us from around the world, from around the country, we want to say thank you very, very much for joining us on this edition of P&B Morning Show. It has been a great one, Chidi Kenneth.
Well, thank you. It's nice having you too. And I enjoyed myself because the burning issues in front of us are very disturbing. Very disturbing.
All right. Thank you very, very much. And of course, the morning show will grow and grow and grow as we'll be introducing more segments right here. So don't forget to join us same time tomorrow, as we'll be here from 7 till 9 o'clock in the morning to bring you the very latest happenings in the polity generally and around the world. My name is Omike Joseph Matthew.
And my name is Chidi Kenneth. Do have a wonderful day ahead.
Bye-bye.